this fight off against LogistcLNightmr to start things off.
Okay, so Pit Snake. Dark Pit Snake, you know. Is Dark Pit an angel?
He's a mirrored copy, so he's
like,
technically also an angel, but he's also not.
He tries.
He's there.
Existence is pain, but you know what? We're here playing out this neutral, and LogistclNightmr trying his best to just start off not approaching. I love that jump in down tilt, though. Playing at mid-range can be extremely effective against Pit, who almost has to commit to the air for most of his range.
Yeah, the fact that you have Grenade as a viable option to pull is going to interrupt a lot of that early to mid damage that Luminous is going to want to hunt for. Although, LogistcLNightmr is going to have to be careful once it comes to those recoveries. High recovery is a must because there's so many moves in Pit's kit that's just going to make Cypher a sitting duck.
Very, very true. Oh, he crouched under the back air. That's I mean, great stuff already from LogistclNightmr. Using the surprising disjoint and a massive hitbox on down tilt for Snake, and then calling out jumps with up air. Pit may have multiple jumps, but the airspeed's a little bit lacking.
Yeah, and that's something that LogistcLNightmr is going to be able to take advantage of plenty in this set. We're already starting to see it with the harassment of up smash and grenades. I'm waiting to see one of those arrows hit their mark, though.
Yeah, it'll be soon. I think that's what he wants with the stronger arrows, potentially getting Snake out of Cypher, using those as more potential edge guarding. But man, this and didn't keep track of C4 either. This onstage play from LogistclNightmr has been so good, and completely avoiding all of these edge guards with the added armor at 173 and still trying to survive.
One thing that I like a lot about the way that LogistcLNightmr is handling this matchup is you constantly see C4 on the platforms, or you see the grenades just trying to occupy higher elevation. Because Pit's going to be jumping a lot. A lot of Pit's good stuff involves him being somewhere in the air. And on Pokemon Stadium 2, there's so many ways that Snake can deny aerial space.
Oh, but there's a really solid string, almost finding an extension on the platform that Pit can really do super well. 42% like it's nothing. I would like to see a couple more grabs come out from Luminous, because he's committing so many to these dashbacks that are getting him killed in that instant, but so much like aerial movement, so much trying to find like these opportune starters, when sometimes all you need against Snake is a grab into a bread and butter.
Like, you're bringing up a good point about how you, like, grounded game is really what we're looking for. Because you don't have to worry about getting harassed by these projectiles and shield, and then likewise if Snake starts approaching you, or just getting prepared to catch his landings, because Log has been spending a ton of time in the air. Like, keeping yourself on the ground is where you want to be. But you're Pit. Being on the ground is counterintuitive, but being on the ground gets you those down smashes and evens up the stock count.
That button's frame 5, by the way. Pit down smash low-key kind of crazy.
You know, back throw to down smash is true. At 0%.
Well, there we go. Today I learned.
This character's got some silly combos.
Man, not to mention that frame 4 neutral air that's coming out. It's like pseudo Palutena neutral air, but even pseudo Palutena neutral air is Palutena neutral air. Oh, trying to still come down with these aerials, and LogistclNightmr crouching under all of them. The C4's on the ground mid-stage, and starting to play this a whole lot more slow. LogistclNightmr realizing that, yeah, he kind of got smothered at disadvantage, and not going to let that happen again.
Yep.
That C4 was there for a solid 25 seconds, and Luminous kind of got a little overzealous.
It was the same approach that we saw Logistics start the game with, and that was let the explosions do the talking. If you're going to be on the ground, it's room for you to short hop up air. It's room for you to up tilt. It's room for you to dash attack. It's room for you to react, because jumping is a commitment. Doesn't matter what character you're playing, jumping is a commitment. And if you're playing a character with multiple jumps, there's a lot of commitment to just existing in the air. Snake has all the time in the world to punish you for that very commitment. And hopefully Luminous checks that moving forward into Game 2, regardless if we run it back to Stadium or not. Just boots on the ground is a great game plan against Snake.
Yeah, which is why I almost want to see a switch off from Pokemon Stadium 2, which, I mean, in my opinion and many other Snake opinions, stages like Pokemon Stadium just benefit Snake so hard in all facets. While maybe a stage like Town and City, while not being great against grenade play, is much better for how Dark Pit wants to take stocks.
We are going to go to Stadium. You want to know something real quick before we go into Game 2? It's such a statistic anomaly that we keep games going to Stadium 2 when it so heavily favors so many characters compared to others.
Yep.
Like,
why do we do it?
y'all just gotten bamboozled into thinking this stage is good, but hey, listen.
We should just make it a counter pick.
Like, good and bad decisions start at the stage selects when they aren't at the character select. Let's see how well Luminous can turn the tides for Game 2.
I guess the best thing about Pokemon Stadium 2 is that a lot of players have just played on it so much that it's almost comfortable across the board. Like, Luminous showed off many a times over that platform extensions are his own bread and butters. And that's what he's really going to be hunting for, and Pokemon's platforms, really good.
They are. There's a lot of ways that Pitt can turn the tides on those, especially if he gets an opportunity to find Logistic missing a tech on there. But we're not seeing a lot of those situations. We're once again seeing plenty of projectile play. Orbitar's coming into play, though, for the first time in a meaningful manner for Luminous.
Ooh, that was super. All this is so clean. Oh, my lord. He's catching DI. He's comboing off of Snake's own grenades. And then when the push comes to shove, dash back forward smash is still really good.
It is the tried and true. Any of those characters that pulls themselves back and just lets it rip make dash back forward smash look like such a good but simple option. And honestly, that notion of comfort on Stadium really starting to shine with Luminous. He's looking to be a lot more brazen with his buttons, but it's paying off in a big way.
Yeah, being able to avoid Nikita, I love the drift back.
Yo,
with
the
that
pullback on the forward air!
The pullback into the arrow, just super clean stuff. And there's that back air coming in clutch for Luminous. Try and go for the edge guard and complete
yes,
it.
sir!
Yeah, alrighty. It destroyed the C4 too. That was all in all the time. Has to avoid a grab here if he wants to keep this stock going.
And the peeling off stage is such a smart decision because you don't have to worry about getting grabbed if you're just out there. You ain't got no air grabs to worry about with Snake. Really good decision making and all this momentum rolling forward, showcasing the Stadium pick was a very smart one from Luminous. Sitting in that 3-1 count, kind of, low-key on the verge of taking this right here and now.
He's just waiting in center stage. He's playing the big width of PS2 so well because he's seen that Logistical Nightmare. He wants to air dodge, he wants to roll, he wants to get back to center at all costs. And punishing him super hard for that. With a huge lead right now, and he can choose to play this however he wants. The Electroshock arm may be a little bit overzealous, but hey, you got a lead to move with.
Yep. Just the fact that he has all of this momentum to dictate the pace of the match is really important.
A lot of damage. Still has to be careful. That's those C4s. Some of these whiff punishes in center stage aren't the option, aren't the play.
Look how quickly Logistic Nightmare has been able to pick up this game, though. Like 92%, like nothing onto Luminous.
Okay. Luminous
Given the way that Snake plays, this is kind of doable. We need to see Luminous end it out here.
That could have been stock right there, and completes the jab. Doesn't go for any mix-up. Man, Logistical Nightmare has just had such a control over this latter half of this game. Like, as soon as the clock hit 5 minutes, he's decided, yeah, I'm never going to get hit by anything that matters. Arrows, whatever.
As it turns out, grenades are a little bit better than arrows when it comes to dictating where your opponent is and isn't allowed to move.
Yeah, welcome to the 21st century, I suppose. Okay, F-Tone. I don't often see that move take stocks, but hey.
It usually doesn't.
No.
But when it's fresh and you don't DI it right, yeah, it's going to kill.
Sure. And it caught him, like, falling back on what Luminous did so well in that game too, which was just Logistical Nightmare oftentimes was pulling grenades, but despite all the mix-ups, he wanted to pull grenades and move forward. Pull Nikita and move forward. And with a couple of cheeky roll behinds and jump overs, Luminous found a lot of really solid whiff punishes. This is good play.
Yeah, no, it was really smart. Just that presence of mind to force a lot of aggressive play near the ledge, where Snake doesn't have that option of peeling back and re-standing. Like, you saw how quickly all of that momentum rolled into yet another stock, but coming into Game 3 on small battlefields, I don't know if Logistic Nightmare is going to give Luminous that same kind of opportunity because we have a lot less lateral space to work with and a lot more aerial space.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this because of the lower platforms, but man, if you want your grenades to control space, you almost need to be pulling out a ton of them. Meanwhile, Luminous sticking on the ground, trying to snipe out Snake while he's in the air after he already commits to a jump. He has to see C4 recover.
He needs to attack that too in order to get the C4 recovery.
I mean,
I like the idea though, but very good presence of mind from Luminous. Saw that opportunity on the lower recovery and took it. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the set. High recovery is a must for Logistic Nightmare.
He's got to go again. Oh, but gets clipped by the Cypher first.
We almost saw Snake die at 55.
Again. We almost saw him die at 55 again.
Again, yes, yes.
Using these jumps away. I like that down air to shield instead. Doesn't get the full hit, but hey.
It's one of the fastest out of shield options and therefore one of the fastest out of parry options that Snake has.
Very true.
If I recall, it's like frame 6 or some nonsense like that.
Yeah, after jump squat, it's frame 6. Man, Luminous is just all in on it. And I guess Logistical Nightmare thought he had to tech it, thought it was going to be back air.
One of those situations where Pitt not having strong enough moves kind of worked out.
Yeah. That forward air just not enough to force a tech. and we're seeing Luminous kind of take a little bit more shape. Keep in mind, this is Game 3 where LogistclNightmr had all of the control in Game 1. Now, we're showing why set format is so important.
Just so well played. To a T. Luminous takes it 2-1 over LogistcLNightmr.
That was round 1. That was round 1 with a PR, New Jersey PR player, one of the strongest states in the tri-state area, in the world. And
put up against the ropes by a player from, I believe, New York.
I think?
Somewhere in the upper New Jersey to lower New York area, because LogistcLNightmr is a regular attendee of Xeno brackets.
Very true. I know he got a ride from BD Bean, though, so I'm not sure if it's like...
So, yeah, it's that weird bantam period of, like, New York and New Jersey sort of claim the players.
Yeah, you know.
Although, Twitter claims BD Bean. He is a cultural icon to us all.
The flannel claimed BD Bean.
It's like the moon. No one's allowed to claim it, but it's all ours,
we all should treasure BD Bean. Good,
like
good
the moon.
Shit, Brad.